I'm Jeff Brazier, and I'm about to receive my celebrity wishlist case. I have no idea what's inside or what's in store for me. All I do know is that you and I are going on a little adventure together. We'll be meeting some incredible people along the way who devote their lives to helping others. And I'll be tasked with granting a wish and helping them to continue the amazing work that they do. I've no idea what is in this case. Hopefully it's a wedge of money. If it isn't, it'll be a challenge and I hope that I can help someone out. Right then. Open the laptop. The UK's 23 air ambulance services are mainly dependent on public donations. Didn't know that. In order to survive, the Midlands Air Ambulance Service must raise £6 million every year. It's a hell of a lot of money. So please watch this short video.
On April the 23rd, my son Joshua got hit by a car. On approaching Joshua, he was lying on his back. Both his legs were clearly broken round by his head. He's dead, effectively. The blood was full in his mouth and nose. Just lying there motionless, not breathing, unconscious totally, and just no response at all. And nobody was there doing anything. Josh had 2 broken thigh bones, a shattered shin bone, and some serious head injuries that required immediate attention. After the paramedic had arrived, he then summoned the air ambulance. The great thing about the air ambulance was that Josh was able to get the level of care that he needed. Once the air ambulance touched down at Birmingham Children's Hospital, he was transferred to Resus, where they operated on him and worked on him to stabilise his condition. Although you've brought your son round, you don't know whether he's going to stay alive, you know, what the long-term effects are if he does stay alive. It's just awful, awful feeling. Joshua remained in a coma for 72 days. The day Joshua finally woke up was at 5 o'clock in the morning on the 4th of July. And all I heard was this voice saying, "Dad, Dad." It's just phenomenal. I just sat there sobbing like an idiot for, you know, minutes, and Josh turned over, put his hand on my shoulder and said, "Daddy, Nana." It was just the best thing ever. Sorry, fighting it. It's 4 weeks on now since Josh woke up, and he's doing absolutely fantastically. He's awake fully. He's retained his long-term memory. He's got purposeful movement of all his limbs. He stood up for the first time unaided, and today he's just started taking his first sort of steps to walking. It's just brilliant. I think if the air ambulance hadn't been there that day, I question whether Josh would have survived, or if he had, what injuries he would have sustained long term.
Naturally, the video made me feel very sad for the families, but also now I'm aware of that charity, I think that there's a lot of work that needs to be done. I think it's time to find out what my challenge is, and if it's driving a helicopter, I think I'm going to have to opt out on that one, but if it's helping to raise some funds, then I'd be really excited about that. The staff want to commemorate the support they've received in the form of a plaque or sculpture. I'm no good at making sculptures. Your task is to make their wish come true by helping design and build an appropriate piece. Your deadline is Thursday at 3:30 p.m. when the fundraising team gather for their meeting. Good luck. I'm going to need that. I'm hoping that there's a few clues in a You have one contact at Midlands Air Ambulance. Telephone Katie.
Good afternoon, Midlands Air Ambulance Charity.
Katie, it's Jeff Brazier from Celebrity Wishlist.
Hello there.
I've just been learning quite a bit about your fantastic charity, and I must admit, I mean, the first thing that was most surprising was that you're not actually funded by the NHS or anything else like that. So how do you raise £6 million a year?
It's all through the generosity of the public and fundraising and local businesses.
I don't know whether you're sort of in on this or not, but I've got to build and design a sculpture, and I've got a feeling it's to commemorate 20 years of service, is that right?
Yes, it's our 20th anniversary year.
What kind of design do you think is appropriate?
Maybe a commemorative plaque, or maybe a sculpture or something to show to future generations.
Do you think it would be better for it to be those that have donated in the past?
Yeah, people that have basically left the gift of life to other people.
OK, and if it wasn't to be a plaque and if it was to be a sculpture, have you got any ideas?
I think if you based it around the helicopter, that would be great because it's such an iconic symbol.
Perfect. Kate, thank you very much for your help, and I'll speak to you soon.
You're welcome.
OK, see you then. Bye. Well, after speaking to Katie, I'm feeling a huge burden of pressure on my shoulders because I've never built a statue nor a plaque, and obviously a 20-year commemorative one as well at that, because it's obviously going to be really important. It's going to be very heartfelt for a lot of people, and when you unveil something, it needs to mean something to everybody. So while I get things started, Michael Underwood is setting up a surprise for a lady who spends all her time giving back to her local community.
Hi, I'm Michael Underwood and I'm here in Harrogate in North Yorkshire. Now, I've come to chat to Jill because she's nominated a person who makes a real difference in the community here for one of our heartwarmers. Actually, I hope she's put the kettle on. Hello, Jill.
Hello.
Hello there, I'm Michael.
Hi. Hello.
Now, I believe you've nominated someone to receive one of our heartwarmers.
Louise.
I'd love to find out a lot more about Louise.
Great.
Is it right to come in?
Yeah, come in.
Fantastic. So, Jill, tell me a bit more about the person and the organisation you've nominated.
Louise is very special. She wears two hats, that's what she always says. One hat is that she runs a group of ladies called the Acorn Ladies, and they raise money. They've actually raised, over the last 11 years, £700,000.
Which is a phenomenal amount of money, isn't it?
An awful lot of money. The difference is it doesn't stop there with Louise. She also volunteers for the Alzheimer's Society. And whereas we have volunteers, many of them great people that perhaps do a bit of baking for us, or they do some support work, or they befriend, or they're a media volunteer, Louise is every one of those things. She's got a finger in every pie. And she's been instrumental in moving the services for dementia locally.
So tell me some of the events that Louise and the Acorn Ladies have organised.
It's never a little event, it's always a big ball or golfing events, art. She does a massive cycle ride every year. And then when she's set that up, she then moves on to another new idea.
So she never stops then?
No.
Always planning the next thing and how
If
to raise
Louise
more money?
rings you and says, I've got an idea, you need to be worried.
So how much of a difference has Louise made to the society?
Her passion has meant that local campaigning has gone on. People know about Alzheimer's, they know about dementia in our local area. She's on the radio, in the papers all the time.
So we need to think of a gift, something that would be perfect for them. What could she suggest? What would you reckon they'd really like?
It is really hard to give Louise a gift.
Right.
So for instance, if I gave her a weekend away somewhere, which I'd love to do, she'd probably raffle it or auction it. So it's very hard to give Louise a gift, and I think the best thing you could do for Louise is give her the opportunity perhaps to thank her Acorn Ladies.
Jill, thank you so much for chatting to me. I'm looking forward to this. It's going to be brilliant, I think.
Great stuff.
That was great. So now I know a lot more about Louise, and I've got some perfect gifts in mind for her and her team. And these Acorn Ladies, they sound pretty important to me, so I think I need to make a bit more of an effort. Oh, wish me luck.
Back in London, the team and I discuss our Midlands Air Ambulance Challenge. Right, gang, I can see that they've already had designs done for them for the 20 years.
Why don't we put that on the plaque?
So you want it to be some kind of call to action, so that they're standing, they've read the plaque at the bottom if you would like to donate to the air ambulance.
Is there a service that can provide that?
There must be, because I've seen it on television programmes where at the end they say if you want to donate a certain amount, then please text this number. So we're going to delegate some jobs here. Sophie, if you could, find out about text donations, how it's possible, who we have to go through, so we make that work.
Where's it going to go?
They've got bases in a few locations, I think. So Cosford being a potential site.
They could be the perfect place because all those visitors who come to the RAF Museum would see the plaque.
Very happy right now. We've made some very good progress. What we've decided to go with is the statue and the plaque, so we're keeping everybody's ideas in there, everybody happy. What we need to do now is to make this lovely design jump off the page and make it actually exist. Time for me to hit the phones. First port of call, a sculptor. So you've got a guy there who can definitely help us. Say we're going to plonk it on top of something called a plinth. We don't really know what a plinth is. Then I spoke to the RAF Museum in Cosford. OK, so the museum has put plinths and displays like that together for years and years. And then we found someone to make the plaque. Thank you very much for your help. And the last thing that I need to do is get John, Joshua's father, to agree to come to the unveiling because there'd be no one better than he to be there. If we managed to get all 4 things in the same place at the same time, then I think we would have done the charity proud.